How are you today? How are you feeling today? How did you decide to wake up? How have you decided to treat every moment of your day, which is a gift? It's not the past, it's not the future, it's the present, all that we have. Did you decide to show up in gratefulness? Did you decide to just be appreciative of everything that we have in these moments? To not focus on the things that we don't have, presumably, but to embark on, to embrace, and to celebrate everything that we do have. Now, maybe physically, you're not able to move around the way that you're used to, the way that you would like to, any of those things. However, what that does mean is that frees you up spiritually. That means that spiritually you are alive. Spiritually, you have the openness to just be free, to explore, to go within, to heal from within, to not run from yourself anymore, to just face that, heal that, and most of all, love that today. Today, what I really wanted to talk to you about was how hurt people show up in the world and how you can show up in the world, whether or not you choose to show up as a hurt person, which is what we're working on, right? Because hurt people hurt people. And when you do what we call your work, when you go within, when you heal those things from the inside, you then have a choice as to how you show up when it is that you meet and recognize a hurt person. What does a hurt person look like? A hurt person may look like a person that attacks you. You may ask them, hey, how are you doing today? How was your day? I don't know, I don't feel good, it's not, or whatever those things may be. You may ask them for directions. You may ask them anything. It may be someone you love. It may be someone that you meet on the street. It may be a family member. It may be a friend. However, in this moment, what we're going to do is we're going to recognize what hurt looks like. Because as within, so without. As within, so without. So when you are balanced from within, what you exude without is going to be balanced. If you are a hurt person within, hurt meaning that you're coming from a source of pain, you're coming from a source of on the inside where we haven't quite healed yet. And a lot of times it's because we haven't put the time in to actually identify and recognize what it is that needs to be healed. So when you ask that question, when you are having a conversation, when you are interacting with another and their hurt self shows up, it looks angry, it looks like it's in pain, it looks like it wants to attack, because misery loves company, right? So if I'm hurt, what another may do is look to put that on you, may look to project that on you through words, through body language, through non-appreciation, through belittling, through whatever all of those things look like and has showed up to you in your world. And maybe it's something that you've experienced recently. And a lot of times when we are actually in close confinement with people for long periods of time, the truth of who we are kind of shows up, right? Because we're not able to just run out. Now, as we learn how to be able to balance that energy when it does show up, and whether or not we need to move that energy. How do you move that energy? That can be through meditation. It could be, let me just go outside and breathe in Mother Gaia. Let me just go outside and listen to the birds, take in the fresh air, move that energy. Maybe you need to listen to some music. Maybe you need to, whatever that is, maybe you need to dance. Whatever that is that does that for you and is able to raise your vibration. So when you come in contact with a hurt person, We have the choice of how we are going to show up. So as we become healed, we now, as opposed to hurt people hurting people, because that's what all of us did. Before we understood who we were, we would we would react from a source of pain. We would react from a source of pain. From your healed self, you then know how to breathe through it and then respond. So when someone comes at me in any type of way, and maybe they are giving me their full throttle of wrath, or so they suppose, I have a choice to make. And the choice that I make, because I'm no longer hurt, and when I was hurt people hurt people. And maybe I chose to use my words because my words are powerful, not by raising my voice or by cursing, however, being able to use my words. So maybe that's what I did. As I became healed, that was so not necessary anymore. And then what I'm now able to do is to recognize the hurt and pain in another. And within that moment, what I choose to do is decide, breathe in, and intuitively show up next. What am I gonna do? I can the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize the hurt. I'm going to recognize the pain and know that I don't need to react to it. I can respond to it. I can respond by either removing myself. I call it putting my church finger up and just removing myself, right? Just remove myself from the situation. Recognizing the hurt and pain and removing myself from the situation. Another option is to heal that pain for another. As light workers, we are here to heal that pain when we are intuitively instructed to do so. And how do we do that? Because we can take that energy in, we can clean it up with love and return it to sender. And then remove myself, right? And then remove myself. We no longer have to, and the way that I decide to show up is to never react. Because two hurt people now reacting to one another is then what shows up as, whether that is a confrontation, a yelling match, hurt feelings, all of these things where people say things that they would like to take back or not, depending on how it is that they feel in that moment. So we don't even have to create something to clean up. So hurt people. And when someone decides to hurt you again with their words, you now are able to recognize and are equipped to say, I don't need to respond to that. That's coming from a place of hurt and pain. I don't need to add to it. I don't need to do anything to it. If you're capable and intuitively led to do so, take it in, heal it up, and return it. But we no longer need to react. The things that we're learning now is about love and how to show up. The first person that we decide to show up for is ourselves, right? And as we show up for ourselves, we're then able to show up for another. As we do the healing on ourselves, we're then able to show up for another. And that's what we're deciding to do now. That's how we're going to do that, right? So proud of you, because we can do it. So, the next time someone comes to you and their reaction to you or how they're interacting is something that you know is not for you, it's not something you created, and more importantly, it's not something that you would like to engage in, recognize it as hurt and pain. Recognize it as hurt, and then decide, how are you going to show up? Are you going to counteract that with hurt and pain? Or are you doing your work so that you no longer have to do that? And that is what I want for you. That is what I want for you. To be able to do your work, to then be equipped with the tool bag to make a better decision. Because it's what? Always the right time to make a better decision. It is always the right time to make a better decision. Hurt people hurt people. But people that are no longer hurt and coming from a space of centeredness, coming from a space of love, that high vibration, now we can respond in the way that we know that we should. And it feels so much better, because what we are continuing to do in all of these moments is we're continuing to spread light, we're continuing to spread love, and we're continuing to heal ourselves. And as we heal ourselves, we heal the planet. As within, so without. As we heal ourselves, we heal the planet. And that's so what we're here to do. So I love you. Continue to take care of each other. Continue to take care of yourself. And be able to now recognize what hurt looks like. We no longer have to be hurt. And we'll do it together. It's a journey. We heal and we grow. Spread love, show up as love. And remember to always show up as the person that you wish to see in this world, because that person is a person that we need. That person is the only person who can do what you're here to do. I thank you. See you next time. And if there is something that you enjoyed in this and you would like to share, subscribe, or make a comment below, I encourage you to do that. And have a wonderful, peaceful, blessed day. Namaste.